What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to be working on the Mustang again. Today I'm going to be doing an install that I should have done a long time ago. Alright? Everyone that's familiar with the 11 to 14 Mustangs know that they have high RPM lockout. So when you're in the 6,000 to 7,000 RPM range and you're flooring it, you got a pedal to the metal, you're sending it. Going from first to second and second to third, it will lock you out of gear. It'll cost you a race, you know, it's horrible. So today we're gonna take a step towards eliminating that problem, and we're gonna be installing a Barton Hybrid 3 shifter. Okay, so you can get the shifter from American Muscle, CJ Pony Parts. There's a lot of different places you can get it, but I went local for my shifter, and if you're in the North Carolina area, check out this shop, Competition Auto. They're great, service is awesome. So I really encourage you to stop by there, talk to Angela, talk to Carl, talk to Tim. Those guys are awesome. They hooked me up with my shifter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to opening my shifter, then we'll get to the install part of it. So let's get going. All right, so I was like a kid in a candy store when they called and told me my shifter was in. I went and picked it up that day, even though I had to work that night. So I got very little sleep. I was so excited. I opened up everything, checked it out, and checked out the quality. So go ahead and explain to you everything that comes with this shifter. This comes in the box. If you order this shifter, do not throw that away. It is sound deadening material. Piece of foam. It looks like it's in there for packing, but you need it. It goes in the car. So that's in there. You get this little decal, Barton decal. Probably stick that on my computer or something, like I do with all my decals. And here is the shifter. Now this is not what it'll look like when it comes. Everything's all nice and packaged, really nice. Okay, I've already opened mine and played with it. Look, I even put the shift knob on, and I got the flat stick shifter. Okay, and they even went all out for me. I got it in black. It's engraved with the Coyote logo on there. Let me set this down so I can zoom in on that because it is really nice. Okay, it's black. You got the Coyote logo on there. I got the black shift ball with the Coyote head on there. Yeah, just really nice quality. So it took a little bit longer than if you order just the standard aluminum, chrome, whatever color it comes in, the silver. Yeah, you can get custom colors, you can get it engraved. It can say Barton or it can say Coyote. I chose for mine to say Coyote, as you can see. I've already said that like 3 times, so I'm gonna move on. So that's the shifter inside the car part. Next, you have your bracket part. Okay, so this is what will bolt underneath your car. Let me get all this tape out of the way. This is what will bolt underneath your car. You can go body mount or transmission mount with this shifter, hence it being called the hybrid, because you have multiple ways of mounting it, and you can also adjust your spring feel inside the shifter, which I'll probably do that later. They always recommend putting in all the springs for that really stiff feel and getting used to that, and then taking it out if you don't like it later, so I'll probably do that. Getting deeper into this thing, let me set this somewhere where it won't get damaged. Setting that down. We got some foam packaging, just gonna throw that out there. Now here is the bracket post for mounting to the transmission. One says driver, so you should be able to get that right. That there, I don't know if you could pick it up on the camera, but yes, one says driver. So we're just gonna set those aside. They have these little rubber rings inside them. Make sure you install those. They will fall out, so be careful not to lose those. More foam. The paper was in there just to keep everything nice and snug, so I'm just gonna set that aside. You get 2 bolts with the washers. You will need those if you mount to the transmission. Here is another bracket for mounting to the transmission. And another reason I like this shifter is because this part right here will allow you to run the Barton drive shaft, if I can get the word out, Barton drive shaft safety loop. You turn it one way without the safety loop, and you turn it the other way with the safety loop. So if you're into racing, you need that safety loop for to qualify or to race or whatever. This shifter will allow you to get the Barton drive shaft safety loop. So if I can get the words out. Here is your body mount post. So if you're mounting to the body, then this will go directly onto the back of the shifter, and it bolts up similar to the similar to the stock mounting bracket. If I can get it to focus here. All right. So there's that, and then last thing in here, you got your bag of hardware. It comes with a little zip tie, those harder springs. I'm not focusing. Comes with those harder springs. There we go. Comes with four bolts that you would need to attach everything, and a jam nut for the shift knob. So that's everything in the box. Like I said, everything is really great quality. I can't wait to get this thing in the car and test it out. Now it's raining outside, so as you can see, I'm here in the garage. The car's already lifted up. That was an adventure in itself. But we're gonna get to the install part. Lighting is horrible inside the garage. So to begin this install, first thing you have to do, you're gonna have to take off your stock shift knob. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that shift knob. Just twist right off. Now I am filming by myself right now. Probably go into the house and get the wife to come out here and help me out with this, just so I can get some better angles for you guys. So we get that stock shift knob off of there, and mine came off with the jam nut all together. Great. Jam nut, all that good stuff. And next, shift knob just kind of in there. Alright, so moving on. I got a lot of junk in my center console, don't judge me. We're gonna have to pull up on the center, which, let's see. Probably gonna have to set you guys down for a moment. So we pull up gently on the center. And there's gonna be some electrical wires in here that you're gonna have to unplug. So you just pull up nice and gently so you don't rip anything out. Get that boot off of there. So you got some wires in the back here. Go ahead and unplug that. Back here. So unplug that there. There's just one back here. And then there is, looks like, oops, I'm sorry, there is two back here. We're gonna unplug this second one there. And I really didn't need to unplug that, but anyway, plug that back in. We just set that out the way. Next, we unplug your hazard buttons and all that stuff up front. And we just pull this up. We're gonna set this back and out of the way. Okay? Okay. Alright, so I went ahead and took my center console and shift boot and all that good stuff out of the way so you can see. Next, you're gonna have this little black clip. It just kind of twists out or pops out, you know. Pull that off to the side. And we're gonna have to remove this sound deadening material here. This gray sound deadening material. We want to be careful when we're removing this because I have to reuse it. That clip there. Just gonna carefully pull all this up and out of the way. Alright, I'm gonna sit that in the back seat with the rest of it. Here is my shift knob. Now we have to remove this boot here. Okay, so just be careful removing that dust boot. Gonna pull up on that like so. I'm doing this one-handed, guys, so just bear with me. It's better to do it two hands carefully, you know, so you don't damage anything. And I just went into third gear. Keep that in neutral there. And there, boot is off. Okay, so this is the stock shifter. Okay, so now next I'm gonna have to move these 4 bolts. All right, I'm gonna have to drop the transmission down a little bit to get to this one right here. Okay, Well, I may be able to actually pull it over and get it, but I'll get to that in a moment. I'm gonna get a 10 millimeter and we'll get these 4 bolts out. Alright, so 3 out of the 4 bolts are out. We're gonna have to drop the transmission to get this 4th one out. That will give us a little bit more clearance. So I'm gonna go under the car and show you how to do that. Alright, so under the car, this is the transmission support beam. It has 4 bolts in it, 2 on each side, right there. And as you can see those 4 bolts right there, we're gonna have to loosen those. We're gonna get a block with a jack, and we'll drop down the transmission. And then we can get the top bolt, that last bolt, out of the shifter up top. Alright, so these 4 bolts that I just spoke of, forgot to mention the size. They are an 18 millimeter. So we're gonna wanna drop those 4 bolts, and then we can lower the transmission enough to give us the clearance to get that bolt out. Alright, so the 4 bolts are out, and now we're gonna lower the transmission now. We're gonna get that top bolt out top. We're gonna pull the rest of that shifter out, and then we'll be done up top for a little bit. We'll go up under the car, and we will get all the old shifter, the parts on the old shifter out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started doing that. Alright, so after some work, I finally got the old shifter out. There it is next to the new one, and you can see there's quite a difference in build quality. And actually, I told you guys wrong. I said you had to drop the transmission, which you did, but what you really had to do was take out this stock bracket. You can just feel how soft and flimsy that is. You can like squeeze it and move it with your hand. It's super soft. It's a piece of crap. Like, why Ford? Why would you put that in your cars from the factory? So yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of that shifter out, and then we're gonna get the new parts in. And I probably won't be able to test today because, like I said, it's wet outside, but there's always tomorrow. Hopefully it will be dry tomorrow. Alright, so this is currently what it looks like up top. You can see down in there, that is the bottom of the stock shifter. And now we're gonna work on getting that out of the car. Once that is out, we can go ahead and start working on the Barton. Alright, so I got the stock shifter out of the car. What you actually have to do is take it apart. This is the top part. I just laid that back in there. And what you actually have to do to get the shifter out of the car is take it apart. Now on the top of it, there are 2 little black pieces. I don't know what you would call them. And they pop right out. After you get that out, this piece pops up and it slides out. And then you will have 3 millimeter bolts on this side of the bracket. This is what holds it to the transmission. And there will be 3 10 millimeter bolts in there. You take those out, there will be a 10 millimeter bolt up here in this bushing that will be bolted to the transmission. You'll need a ratcheting 10 millimeter wrench to get that out, and it will just drop down to the side. Next, the linkage arm will be the last piece you get out. Up top here, there will be a 13 millimeter bolt. You can use a 13 millimeter socket on that and it will come right out. And after you complete all that, you're ready to install the new Barton shifter. Now I'm going to be mounting mine to the transmission, so there's some steps I need to take before I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you guys those steps. Alright, so this is the Barton linkage. And you can see here there are 2 holes in the linkage that allows it to move in case you decide to go chassis mount again. But I'm going to transmission mount, so you will need to use these 2 bolts. They are hex key, and it is, I believe, 3/16 hex key. So they come with lock washer. You just put the lock washer on and you line up these holes here. This keeps the linkage from moving. You just screw that in there and you tighten that down. Make sure you don't forget those lock washers on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this really quick and we can get on to the next step. So what's going on, everybody? I didn't record my whole install last night. Camera battery died. I'm actually recording on a different camera today, so I hope it's still good. I hope you guys can hear me. My car's kind of loud. But I did get the shifter installed, and the quality on it is like amazing. I love it so far. You do feel a lot more vibrations with the shifter, and give me a little bit of time to get somewhere where I can do some decent pulls, and I'll show you how it pretty much eliminated the high RPM lockout. So I'm very happy with the overall install. So just give me a few minutes and I'll be back with you guys with a couple of pulls. Everyone, so there you have it, the Barton Hybrid 3 shifter. As you can see, I got my shift knob custom with the Coyote logo. I got the flat stick custom with the Coyote engraving. All in all, I give it a 10 out of 10. I'm very happy with the shifter. Now, I am going to be adding a stainless steel clutch line and a new clutch here, hopefully in the near future. So stay tuned for that, guys. Can't talk. Go ahead and give me a subscribe, like this video for more content, and that'll be all for this video, everybody. Take care, and